Yeah. No worries. And so now we get to the last one of the day. Sylvia, please. Welcome.
Oh, I see. I don't need to read my submission. Thank you for hearing me today. I did my submission at sort of the last moment of when you had to get things in, because I thought I'd better say something about a few things that I feel quite strongly about. And so for a lot of the items, I haven't done any research about them, so I can't really comment on them. But I am concerned about how much the rate rises are, how much we're paying, the ratepayers are paying for developments. I read something recently, and it seems like often we're paying, developers are only paying about half the costs of their development. We're paying for the rest. And I wonder how we can get more equity so that the ratepayers aren't paying all the development costs. I know out Kindy's Bush Road, they've got all new roads in the new subdivisions. They're all asphalt. Kindy's Bush Road is a great mess, and all the roads leading to these new subdivisions are a patched mess, and I'm afraid that they'll end up being that, a patched mess forever, and they just keep getting patched with chip seal, which is all a bit pointless because it's just money down the drain. Asphalt lasts for 20 years, don't know, a bitumen lasts for 10, and I don't know how much chip seal lasts for, probably 3 weeks. Well, I've seen holes develop, they fix them and they're just there again. It's very, very, very annoying. So that was sort of talking about 1.1, about the infrastructure being a poor cousin, and overall it is a poor cousin too, because up our hill we have got asbestos pipes which are 80 plus years old, and they're shedding asbestos fibres, and we're drinking them. And it's only recently with the Otago University study that that has been found out. Prior to that, the council was doing testing which did not actually give a proper reading, and so more expensive tests need to be done. Now that's concerning, because although there is no hard evidence that I can find, it is suspected that ingesting fibres affects the epithelial tissues of the linings of the body. And of course with asbestos there's a huge, it's not something that happens today or next week, it's sort of, there's a long time span. And so it is something that needs to be looked at, and I know that all over the world asbestos pipes were put in the 40s, and they're a problem everywhere, and nobody wants to address them because it's going to cost a fortune. Hackthorn Road has asbestos pipes which are actually older than ours, they're 90 plus years old. when I asked a couple of years ago when they would be renewing the pipes, they said in 2037. That just is nonsense, especially we're having more development up the top of the hill, and now the pressure on the water is blowing the iron pipes, and they leak all the time. You know, there are problems ongoing, and new development. I would have thought that the new developments would have had to give some contribution to upgrading the existing infrastructure, and that's just doesn't seem to be happening. The bit UAGC, I've really made no comments on that because I haven't really looked at in any depth about what it's all about, but I can see what it's about from listening to the two previous speakers. Sorry about that. Oh, it's my phone. I'll just ignore him and turn it off. Sorry.
Have you got much longer to go, Sylvia? Because you're out of time, but if you're real
Oh,
close...
sorry. I've been rambling.
No.
I have been rambling. I am concerned about the loss of tree cover and the fact that we're saying this city is going to be a national park. That's nonsense. We're just saying things and they'll plant in the red zone, but we're not doing anything to protect. And in Kendy's Bush Road and the Carter's development, hundreds of huge trees have gone. I know they weren't suitable for the development because they were large shelter belts, but there must be a way to protect our cover because we can't call ourselves a garden city, and there's nothing to also encourage residents who have a large amount of tree cover to keep that.
Thank you, Sylvia.
I mean, you will have read it all, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, thank you very much. We've got it all in front of us, so thank you very much for coming in and making the effort to come and see us.
Yeah, it was an effort.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good on you.
Okay, anyone want to ask anything?
No. Yes, Andre would love to ask. Yeah, fine. You haven't asked any today, so go for your life.
Can I just pick up on the point you made around development contributions and rates, new builds, etc. So each new development pays $988 towards community infrastructure. So in Halsall, there's been 4,000 new homes, so 4,000 times 988. We're talking millions of dollars towards community infrastructure paid by developers in the Halsall area. However, none of that money is actually planned to be spent in Halsall, because it can be spent anywhere in the city. Do you think
they've just removed a bulldozed tennis court in the street?
Do you think that's fair, or do you think it should have to be some of it should have to be spent locally because that was maybe the purpose?
Definitely, because in fact I know there are the big football fields and those grounds, but within these developments there's nowhere for teenagers to connect and do, make friends, shoot a ball, do something. I know there are walkways, and there's the Horsewell Quarry, which wouldn't be there except for our neighbourhood. You'd have turned it into a rubbish dump and a hot mix plant.
Thank you very much. That's answered the question
just
very
clarify,
well.
Heard some comments. So community infrastructure is different to the other aspects of development contributions like parks and whatnot. Yep, separate to that.
Thank you very much for coming in, Sylvia.
Thank you.
Now, just for everyone's information, I'm adjourning this hearing until 9:30 tomorrow morning. So see you all then. Thank you. And thank you everyone for their assistance.
Phil, just a quick one. Shout out to staff for the amazing access to the hub. It's been really good, but I'm wondering if we could bring the one folder and merge it with the other one, because I'm going back and forth on devices. Maybe I can...
Talk to Megan. I've talked to her about getting page numbers added to the agenda.
Yeah, the page numbers are phenomenal.
So you can find it
already,
easier.
Yeah, but
Okay.
on the daily agenda, there's no page numbers attached to the hub, so they're doing that for tomorrow.
Sean's all over it.